But introducing these players in the bottom left position, speak of the devil, it is our red Zerg player coming in for Acer. It is Paranoid. And spawning in the top right position as our pink Protoss. We got to actually catch him in a PvP earlier today. He has fought his way through the bracket, leaving bodies behind him. It is from Fnatic. It's Harstem.
And like you said, cross positions. Luckily, cross positions is what I would love to say here. Harstem is probably going to be quite happy about that fact too, because if you spawn in horizontal or vertical spawning positions, I'm not sure what's enabled or disabled on this map, and I don't think anything is disabled by the looks of the scouting patterns that Paranoid is sending his overlords in. I think all spawning positions are enabled on this map, or the way he's scouting suggests that.
Yeah, it's Whirlwind is one of the only 4-player maps that most people agree you could spawn in any 2 positions and have a pretty reasonable chance in any matchup. So we do have a very fast Nexus coming out for Harstem, though. He is not really scared that Paranoid's going to do anything, and Paranoid, not really doing anything crazy himself, is going to be going for this hatchery after pool, so he's not going for the fastest hatchery possible. We have occasionally seen Protoss players open Forge. One that most recently comes to mind, I feel like it was a hero game, just because of cannons. But, well, that fast Nexus is going to help. He's going to get his Forge in his main base, and because he went for this fast Forge, of course, I think you know a little bit more about the reasoning why a Protoss would put a Forge in their main base. I'll let you take that one, Lyrian.
Let me. I actually want to use a phrase there, but I couldn't find the right one to use. But yeah, that's obviously because he wants to be safe against any kind of six pooling that could be coming his way. If you have your Forge in the main base, it allows you to keep the Forge alive, and normally when you get 6-pooled, you would always lose your Forge since it's at your wall off at the front, and losing your Forge is a little bit annoying because that's going to hinder you in the mid game when you break out of that 6-pool contain and want to take your natural. Having that Forge alive is going to make your life a lot easier and a lot safer when you keep that alive. So Harstem playing it extremely safe, getting his Forge in the main base. That's going to hinder his wall off a little bit, but on a map this big, it really doesn't really make a difference. Just in the case of the 6-pool, gets the Forge in the main base, but we're not going to see that come into play as much.
Yeah, just for safety's sake. And Paranoid Zerglings are going to poke up against that wall. The cannon will be able to deter that, and we should see cybernetic score for Harstem. And he's already mining that gas, so it's all going to really come down to if he wants to get a fast upgrade, when he wants to time it, the gas timings in the natural. This map, not the kind of place that you would see anything like a Sentry Immortal push. Stargate Opener is still pretty popular, at least in the Korean meta, but we could see Harstem mixed up a little bit. This map is notorious for the open space, making it pretty difficult for to protect a third base as a Protoss. Looking at the multiple open areas outside of the third, as well as the fact that there are 2 entrances to it. So very fast third coming up for Paranoid, and this is pretty standard. He opened up with the fast speed, slightly unusual, but he could have just been making sure he would be safe against anything like a gateway expand. But looks like Harstem's going to be able to get his probe barely saved from those Zerglings. The Zealots like, back off, man. And Mothership Core, so we're going to have to see what Harstem wants to do with his core being done now.
Yeah, he has started +1 attacks, and that is usually an indication of there's not going to be a Stargate coming up, because going for a Stargate would mean that you want to use that 100 gas to get an early Stargate. But he's invested that into +1 ground weapons for his ground units, obviously. So no Stargate play going to be coming up very likely. He's going to grab that third Nexus ridiculously early, and these Zerglings aren't, of course, on top of that. The Mothership Core scares them away, but Paranoid knows, and he's going to be reacting. How is he going to be reacting? Zergling, 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 Zergling. That's what he's doing right now. And his early speed is going to be working wonders here. His early speed is going to help him out immensely.
Yeah, this is a really, really ballsy move to go for, especially with that Zergling on top of the probe that built it. Yeah, and you know what? I almost feel like even canceling this won't be the worst thing ever, because for third Nexus going up, Paranoid has made a lot of Zerglings. Just looking at the worker count, it's 41 probes to 28 drones. So many of those lings could have been drones instead. He did get the fast speed, but I don't know if he needed this much to shut it down. Of course, you can't use the photon overcharge, but if Harstem holds this third base, he is going to have a huge lead But I feel like Paranoid, he's going to need to do a little bit of damage.
Cancel it.
Droning up behind this, but... Ooh.
Oh, he's gonna let it finish, so that means he's gonna use the photon overcharge and warp in Zealots to try and save this. His units are coming over, he doesn't have a lot of units out on the field just yet. He's warping in Zealots, the photon overcharge doing a lot of damage. The Nexus is half HP right now, already lost all its shields, but I think he's gonna manage to save this.
Oh my goodness. This is an incredible hold here from Harstem. Those Zealots barely getting there in time, and now, you know, the worker count is so close. He did drone up behind this. It's 48 to 46, but that's not a bad position to be in at all as a Protoss. If he can maintain this, we have another Zergling attack coming up here. If Harstem can hold on to this third base without losing too much, he's going to be in a sick position moving forward with this game. He's adding on his additional gateways, getting a Twilight Council, and I wonder what he's going to build. He has the probe right next to that Twilight Council. I really want to know what he's going to go for. He actually has a pylon by the now building fourth base of Paranoid.
I think Paranoid knows that he's so far behind. He wants this. Whoa, look at that. He's been producing nothing but Zerglings. After that initial drone wave that you talked about, that brought him up to 43, he's been making nothing but Zerglings, and now is up to 34 with 22 more on the production tab. Double evolution chambers coming down, but he's also expanding to a fourth and taking a macro hatch at the same time. So he's gonna invest into a macro follow-up behind this, but he's definitely looking to kill this third base here. And look at the wall look at the position of those units that Harstem has. It's fantastic. He's only gonna have to use a few force fields and he's gonna be pretty safe here. Photon overcharge will be available in 15 seconds, but is that gonna be in time? There's some Zerglings on the inside of the force field doing some damage to the Nexus. Only 188 HP left. Ooh, once again a big investment out of Paranoid, but the Nexus lives.
Yeah, and like you said, that positioning of his army, he had the Zealots kind of like move commanded to wrap around it, but the Zerglings are going to try to run in and snipe it, getting so close, throwing on the force fields. He needs to get these Zerglings off. This Nexus is so low, almost below 100 hit points. The Zerglings have found a small area to attack. 50 health, 40 health, 44 hit points on the Nexus. He still has it. So close, Harstem. He's
Here
just
comes
like,
wave
okay,
3 though,
and then, oh, I don't know if he can stop wave 3. This is going to be so rough. Oh goodness, the Zerglings do get some surface area. The Nexus is so low. 7 hit points on the Nexus. It is so ridiculously low, but Harstem not giving an inch for these Zerglings to attack. 3 hit points on Harstem's Nexus. This is absolutely ridiculous. He's whooped in 4 Stalkers, and Paranoid must be so frustrated right now. He's like, cannot get that damn Nexus, and he's got that army hold position hanging on so tightly to that Nexus. Oh my god, I cannot believe Harstem manages to hold the Nexus with 3 health. What am I even watching?
You should correct with this Nexus. Doesn't that increase the shield regeneration?
Yeah,
I think it
does. The Nexus does regenerate shields faster when it is chrono boosted. I just wonder if he's going to run all these Lings by again just to try to get that Nexus. It's already got 100 of its shields back, so that will recover quite quickly. He will have Photon Overcharge, and now he's completely actually walled off that the mineral line, so you'll have to dig through the cannons and the pylons to kill that. And Harstem, he's had time to build up his forces this entire time. He's adding on a lot of gateways. 8 gateways about to finish. This looks like with this blink finishing up and this +1 armor coming in, we could have Harstem going for a really big +2 timing. The Zerglings try to run in towards that third, but it is open. The Archons, though, going to get caught trying to leave the base. A big loss for Harstem, but I feel like if he kills all these Zerglings off, it's still going to be all right. Gets some great force fields, and Paranoid is in a bit of trouble now with this army from Harstem looking so strong, especially with he only has +1 Carapace, so the +2 attack from those Zealots, well, Lyrian, you and I both know that's going to make these Zealots chew through these Zerglings like nothing.
Paranoid has done nothing this entire game but producing Lings and getting a few upgrades. He is getting 2-2 right now, but he has no Roach Warren, he has no Baneling Nest, he has no Infestation Pit, he's got no lair tech whatsoever other than the +1, the +2 I should say, Carapace that he's now researching for his Zerglings, but I don't see any way how he could possibly hope to hold this attack off. I mean, he's going to go with mass Lings. No spine crawlers, no nothing, and if the force fields are good, this should be over.
Yeah, Paranoid's actually going to try to go for a big counterattack. The Zealots are poised to defend, though. The real question is, does Harstem have enough warp-ins? He does warp in another Zealot behind here, and he is pushing forward. This third base is going to die, immediately pushing out, and those Zealots with that upgrade advantage over the Zerglings, two-shotting them, so much pain being unleashed. Warping in an Archon behind this wall, Harstem is cleaning up the Zergling attack, and GG from